which you come through on arrival. The remaining parts of the building are designated non-smoking. First aid. OCS has staff on duty that are first aid trained. Should guests require any assistance, staff in the lodge are first aiders, as are central staff on duty should you require assistance. Fire alarms. In the unlikely event that the fire alarm is activated, this will be indicated by a continuous audible alarm. Centre staff will undertake evacuation of the centre. Assembly point is in the Istanbul courtyard outside the auditorium. There are 4 evacuation points in this auditorium, 2 at the side and 2 at the top, and 2 either side of the bottom of the auditorium. Please follow the instructions. Thank you very much.
If it please your lordship, may we have leave to proceed?
You may.
May it please your lordship, I appear today as the Shrieval Remembrancer for Oxfordshire. My lord, may I begin by welcoming you to the Oxford Centre for Islamic Studies in Oxford to preside over the ceremony in which Mr. Mohammed Jawaid Malik is to make his declaration as High Sheriff for the County of Oxfordshire for the coming year.
Mr. Malik, you are to receive a warrant under the hand of the Clerk to His Majesty's Privy Council dated the 10th day of March 2026, reciting that at the court at Buckingham Palace held on that day, His Majesty the King was pleased by and with the advice of his Privy Council to nominate you for and appoint you to be the High Sheriff of the County of Oxfordshire during His Majesty's pleasure, requiring you to take custody, care and charge of this county, and duly perform the duties of the High Sheriff thereof during His Majesty's pleasure, whereof you are duly to answer according to law, and it is timely for you to make before one of His Majesty's judges the declaration required by statute.
Mr. Malik, will you read your form of declaration?
I, Muhammad Jawaid Malik, of 80 Stanway Road, Haddington, in the county of Oxfordshire, do solemnly declare that I will well and truly serve the King's Majesty in the office of High Sheriff of the County of Oxfordshire, and promote His Majesty's profit in all things that belong to my office as far as I legally can or may. I will preserve the King's rights and all that belongs to the Crown, and I'll process all the King's writs according to the best of my skill and knowledge. I will do right as well to poor as to rich in all things pertaining to my office, I will do no wrong to any person for any gift, reward, promise, no for favor, and I will treat all people equally, respecting the differences and diversity of our communities. I will support and encourage all who give up their time, skills, and commitment for the benefit of others. I will lay aside all private prejudices and political interests. I will promote the peace, well-being, and prosperity of this county and all its people. I will disturb no person's right and will truly and faithfully support the judiciary and all who maintain the King's peace, who administer justice, and who protect and support their fellow citizens. I will hold the ancient office of High Sheriff with selflessness, integrity, and leadership. I will truly and diligently uphold the good laws and statutes of this realm, and in all things well and truly behave myself in my office for the honor of the King and the good of his subjects, and discharge my obligations according to the best of my knowledge, best of my skill and power. And I solemnly declare that this is my name and handwriting, and that the contents of this, my declaration, are true.
High Sheriff, may I congratulate you upon your assumption of this ancient and honourable office in the service of His Majesty the King.
My Lord, it's now time for me to appoint my chaplains. I'm pleased that you, Nawaz Khan, from the Muslim community, are willing to accept office as one of my chaplains during my Shrival year, and I now confirm your appointment to that office.
High Sheriff, I thank you for this appointment, and I'm happy to hold office as your chaplain during your Shrival year. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. All praise is due to God, Lord of all worlds, who commands justice, excellence, and generosity. O God, guide and support the High Sheriff in his year of service. Grant him wisdom in judgment, integrity in action, and compassion in his leadership. Help him honor his duties in supporting the judiciary, the police, and the emergency services, encouraging all who serve justice and public safety, and uplifting those in the voluntary and community sectors who work and aid the vulnerable and foster peace. Strengthen unity amongst our diverse communities. Bless all who serve the common good, and unite us in truth and peace. Amen.
I'm pleased that you, Canon Emeritus B. Gerard, from the Christian community, are willing to accept office as one of my chaplains during my shrivel year, and I now confirm your appointment to that office.
Hi, Sheriff. I thank you for this appointment and am happy to hold office as your chaplain during your shrivel year. May the Lord bless you and keep you in his love. May his light shine upon you and keep you in his strength, that you may bring into harmony all the peoples of different faiths and none in the county during your year as High Sheriff of Oxfordshire. May the Lord bless you and keep you.
I am pleased that you, Louise Gordon, from the Oxford Jewish community, are willing to accept office as one of my chaplains during my shrivel year, and I now confirm your appointment to that office.
Hi, Sheriff. I thank you for this appointment, and I'm happy to hold office as your chaplain during your shrivel year. Lord, you grace humanity with knowledge and teach mortals understanding. Grace our chaplaincy team with the knowledge, understanding, and discernment that come from you. May you bless and protect our new High Sheriff as he works to sustain our county in shared respect and compassion, harmony and common purpose for the good of all. Baruch atah Adonai, blessed are you, Lord, who graciously grants wisdom.
I am pleased that you, Joe Lane, from the Buddhist community, are willing to accept office as one of my chaplains during my shrivel year, and I now confirm your appointment to that office.
Hi, Sheriff. I thank you for this appointment, and I'm happy to hold office as your chaplain during your shrivel year. May we awaken to the light of our inner wisdom. May we cultivate a spirit of compassion and courage. May we treat each other with kindness, dignity, and respect, and live together in harmony, freedom, and safety. We pray for peace in the world, for the protection of our precious planet, and for happiness of all living beings throughout the entire universe. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
I am pleased that you, Dr. Stephen Vickers, of the Baha'i community, are willing to accept office as one of my chaplains during my shrivel year, and I now confirm your appointment to that office.
Hi, Sheriff. I thank you for this appointment, and I'm happy to serve as a chaplain during your shrivel year. O my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor, and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps by the light of thy knowledge, and cheer their hearts by thy love. Thou art their helper and their Lord.
I am pleased that you, Mark Bhagwan Din DL, of the Hindu community, are willing to accept office as one of my chaplains during my Shrival year, and I now confirm your appointment to that office.
Hi, Sheriff. I thank you for this appointment, and I'm happy to hold office as your chaplain during the Shrival year. Salutations to him who undertakes his duties with righteousness. May he be granted well-being, prosperity, and strength. May the great divine protect and guide him. May he be blessed with wisdom, clarity, and insight. May he enjoy complete health and vitality. May the High Sheriff of Oxfordshire perform his duties with integrity, humility, and dedication to the good of the community. May his service bring harmony, compassion, and goodwill to all he serves. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
I am pleased that you, Surinder Desi DL, of the Sikh community, are willing to accept office as one of my chaplains during my Shrival year, and I now confirm your appointment to that office.
Hi, Sheriff. I thank you for this appointment, and I am happy to hold office as your chaplain during your Shrival year. Creator Lord, we thank you for this new season of leadership. Bless the High Sheriff with the wisdom of Gyan, that's divine knowledge, and the courage of Santokh, contentment, to serve all people equally. May their tenure be guided by compassion and integrity, ensuring justice for the community and the strength for the weak. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. The Khalsa belongs to God, victory belongs to God.
High Sheriff, it is now appropriate for you to appoint an under-sheriff for the county of Oxfordshire.
Mr. Miles, I'm advised that you are willing to accept office as my under-sheriff for the county of Oxfordshire. Documents have been prepared, signed and witnessed, appointing you to your office during the coming Shrival year. It is therefore timely for you to make before one of His Majesty's judges the declaration required by statute.
Mr. Miles, will you read your form of declaration?
I, David Miles, of North Farm House, Shillingford Hill, Wallingford, in the county of Oxfordshire, do solemnly declare that I will well and truly serve the King's Majesty in the office of Under-Sheriff of the county of Oxfordshire, and promote His Majesty's profit in all things that belong to my office as far as I legally can or may. I will truly preserve the King's rights and all that belongs to the Crown, and I will process all the King's writs according to the best of my skill and knowledge. I will do right as well to poor as to rich in all things pertaining to my office. I will do no wrong to any person for any gift, reward, promise, nor for favour, and I will treat all people equally, respecting the differences and diversity of our communities. I will support and encourage all who give of their time, skills, and commitment for the benefit of others. I will lay aside all private prejudices and political interests. I will promote the peace, well-being, and prosperity of this county and all its people. I will disturb no person's right and will truly and faithfully support the judiciary and all who maintain the King's peace, who administer justice, and who protect and support their fellow citizens. I will uphold the ancient offices of High Sheriff and Under Sheriff and discharge my obligations with selflessness, integrity, and leadership. I will truly and diligently uphold the good laws and statutes of this realm, and in all things well and truly behave myself in my office for the honour of the King and the good of his subjects, and discharge my obligations according to the best of my skill and power. And I solemnly declare that the contents of this my declaration are true.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, members of the judiciary, representatives of the police and emergency services, civic leaders, community partners, friends and family, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here in perhaps an unusual surrounding for the swearing in of a High Sheriff. It's usually done in court, but this is a wonderful place to be this afternoon to celebrate Jawaid's appointment. It's a privilege to welcome you all to this important occasion for the county, the swearing in of our new High Sheriff. Today, we gather not only to witness a formal declaration of office, but also to celebrate the continuation of a role that has served our counties and communities for over 1,000 years. This is a day of ceremony, tradition, and renewal, but also a day when we pause to reflect on the enduring values of public service, the importance of civic duty, and the strength of the communities we serve. The office of High Sheriff is one of the oldest secular offices under the Crown, with origins dated back to Saxon times. In its earliest form, the High Sheriff was the principal representative of the monarch in the county, responsible for maintaining law and order, collecting taxes, and ensuring the King's peace. The privilege of carrying a sword in public evokes this ancient role. The ceremonial uniform that you see today worn by the High Sheriffs is called court dress. It has remained essentially unchanged since the mid-18th century. In case you were wondering, my ceremonial dress has been unchanged since the mid-14th century. It's altogether less flattering and a good deal warmer. Over the centuries, the role, of course, has evolved. Today, while the High Sheriff no longer collects taxes or raises militias, the office remains a vital link between the Crown, the judiciary, the police, and the community. The High Sheriff supports the work of judges, magistrates and law enforcement, while also championing voluntary organisations, charities and individuals who work to improve the lives of others. This blend of ancient tradition and modern relevance is a living reminder that our institutions are not static relics of the past, but evolving guardians of justice, fairness and community spirit. Before we look forward, it's right that we pause to express our gratitude to the outgoing High Sheriff John May. Over the past year, he served with distinction, energy and compassion. From attending court sittings and supporting the judiciary to visiting schools, community groups and charities, he's been a visible and approachable figure. He's attended, I'm told, some 268 engagements, travelling the length and breadth of the county. Those engagements have included an heroic number of breakfasts, lunches and dinners. Opportunities to hear what others have to say. He has consistently pursued his theme for the year of listening to young people, particularly those who feel unheard, and of bringing people together. He's done what a High Sheriff can do best, which is to shine a light on the work of those who often go unrecognised, the volunteers, the carers, the community leaders, and in doing so has strengthened the bonds that hold our community together. He's the first to acknowledge that he could not have achieved all of this without the very significant support he has received from the entire Shrevell team, including David Miles as Under Sheriff, Anne Gow as Chaplain, Mark Johnson, John's husband, as Chamberlain, Patrick Eccles as Shrevell Remembrancer, and Sean Kendall looking after the cadets. John, on behalf of us all, I thank you for your year as High Sheriff, the dedication to the role you just relinquished, and your unwavering commitment to the people of this county. It's now my great pleasure to welcome Jawaid Malik as the new High Sheriff for the year ahead. He brings to this role a wealth of experience, deep understanding of the county's communities, and a genuine passion for public service. Jawaid tells me that he originally came from a town in Pakistan called Silkot, which is famous for manufacturing a wide variety of sports equipment, including 75% of all stitched footballs. In fact, Silkot footballs will be used in the World Cup this year in the USA. Since moving to this country in 1983, he's dedicated his career to fostering inclusion, supporting vulnerable populations, and bridging the gaps between diverse faith groups and public institutions. After establishing the Asian Sports and Cultural Centre in Leicester, he spent many years with Oxford City Council as a manager for the Asian Cultural Centre and later as a community development area manager, focusing on grassroots regeneration. A Justice of the Peace for over 20 years, Jawaid has also served as chair of the Oxford Independent Advisory Group for Thames Valley Police, working to strengthen trust between law enforcement and local communities. Since 2009, he's championed cultural exchange through the Oxford Foundation, the Oxford Council of Faiths, and the Oxford Asian Literary Society. Jawaid is a long-term participant in the Shared Lives scheme, opening his Headington home to support individuals with learning disabilities. He lives there with his wife Rahat and his 4 children. His background and long experience in the county mean that he is ideally placed to pursue his themes for the year, which focus on strengthening community well-being, fostering social cohesion, and celebrating the cultural diversity of Oxfordshire. So the High Sheriff's year is a demanding one. It requires time, energy, diplomacy, and a willingness to engage with people from all walks of life. It's a role that calls for both ceremonial dignity and practical action. The year ahead will no doubt bring both challenges and opportunities. As High Sheriff, Jawaid will be a visible advocate for the rule of law a supporter of those who serve and protect us, and a champion for the unsung heroes whose quiet acts of service strengthen the fabric of our society. I was curious as to what the name Jawaid means. My research established that it's a name of Arabic origin, meaning everlasting or eternal. It's predominantly a masculine name, popular in Muslim countries worldwide. The name, it is said, evokes a sense of enduring strength, resilience, and lasting legacy. It is, if I may say so, an apt name for our new High Sheriff. We live in times when community cohesion, mutual respect and trust in our institutions are more important than ever. The High Sheriff has an opportunity to bring people together, to bridge divides, to celebrate diversity, and to inspire collective action for the common good. I encourage all of us here today, whether we are public servants, community leaders, or private citizens, to work alongside Jawaid in the months ahead. Let us share ideas, offer support, and open doors so that together we can make this year, Jawaid's year, one of meaningful impact and lasting contribution. Thank you.
My Lord, Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, distinguished guests, friends, and family. It is with great humility and a profound sense of honor and duty that I stand before you today as I am declared High Sheriff of Oxfordshire. This is an office steeped in history, representing the Crown in matters of justice, law, and the preservation of peace. Yet, it is also an opportunity to serve, to connect, and to contribute to the continued strength and unity of our country. When I arrived in the United Kingdom in 1983, I came with very little, only $100 in my pocket. But with hope, determination, and belief in the power of community, never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that one day His Majesty would entrust me with this esteemed office. That is the beauty of the United Kingdom. Welcoming people, offering respect, and providing equal opportunities to contribute and succeed. My journey from those early days in Leicester to building a life here in Oxfordshire has been shaped not by what I had, but by the people around me, those who guided, supported, and inspired me. I would not be here today without the values instilled in me by my family. My late father taught me to strive for excellence, always with humility. My elder brother, 91 this month, and still going strong, guided me with wisdom and encouragement. My late brother from Leicester, Malik Salim MBE, whose children I'm delighted are here today. He helped shape my passion for community development and interfaith understanding. My older brother, Pervez, who's also here today, has been a steadfast support. Above all, my mother, who raised us with strength, compassion, and integrity, laid the foundation and prayed for all I have achieved. My life in public service has been a privilege, from establishing community initiatives to working in local government, supporting voluntary organizations, engaging in policing advisory roles, and serving as a justice of the peace for over 2 decades. Each experience has reinforced one simple truth: strong communities are built on trust, inclusion, and shared purposes. This brings me to my theme for the year ahead: connecting communities, our future together. In a world where divisions can too easily emerge, I believe our greatest strength lies in our abilities to come together across backgrounds, faiths, generations, and experiences. During my year as High Sheriff, I'll focus on 3 key aspirations. First, strengthening community cohesion, supporting initiatives that bring people together, encourage dialogue, and celebrate Oxfordshire's rich diversity. Second, supporting the well-being of the vulnerable, particularly individuals with learning disabilities and those who may feel isolated or unheard. Through my work with Share Lives and Beyond, I have seen firsthand the transformative power of compassion and inclusion. Third, championing the work of our public services and volunteers, the police, judiciary, emergency services, and countless individuals and organizations who work tirelessly to keep our communities safe, fair, and resilient. And a lot of you are here today, and you know you are. And I'm sorry I couldn't invite everybody because of limited seating capacity. I could have filled probably 10 halls like that. As I reflect on the year ahead, I'm reminded of the words of Rumi. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I'm wise, so I'm changing myself. These words will guide me. And listen more, learn more, and serve with humility. Because meaningful change begins within each of us and grows through our collective efforts. This role is not about one individual, it's about partnership, listening, learning, and working together to make a meaningful difference. I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to all those who have supported me on this journey. They're too numerous to mention, so please forgive me if I focus on just a few. My sincere thanks to our Lord Lieutenant for her invaluable support to the Shrievalty, so often offered quietly behind the scenes, yet deeply appreciated. To the Shrievalty family, especially John and Mark, and His Honor Patrick, your guidance and support have been invaluable. To colleagues, friends, and the many volunteers I have had the privilege to work alongside, especially Imam Munawar, who's here today, DL, thank you for your dedication and friendship. To Dr. Farhan Ahmed Nizami, CBE, thank you for so generously hosting this ceremony in this remarkable institution. And finally, to my family, my children, especially to my wife, Rahat. I would not be standing here today without your patience, encouragement, and unwavering support. Thank you for putting up with me. As I take this role, I do so with humility, gratitude, and a deep commitment to serve the people of Oxfordshire. Together, by connecting our communities, we can build a future that is stronger, more inclusive, and filled with opportunity for all. Let's go to work. Thank you.
and say that the time has now arrived for the formal proceedings that are required by statute to conclude. But before we turn to a more informal procedure, there is one thing that I need to add, and for those who have a script, it is, I'm afraid, not on your script. It is something that I'm afraid our new High Sheriff knows absolutely nothing about. But I have received a letter from Buckingham Palace, and I'll read it. The King has asked me to thank you in connection with the swearing in of the new High Sheriff of Oxfordshire, Mr. Jawaid Malik, on the 9th of April. His Majesty greatly appreciates the news of this special occasion. I can tell you that as a champion of multi-faith understanding and interfaith dialogue, the King was immensely heartened to learn that Mr. Malik is to be sworn in at the Oxford Centre for Islamic Studies, of which His Majesty is patron. The King was touched also to hear a little of the plans afoot to ensure that people of all faiths from the local community are to be represented at this important ceremony. His Majesty has asked me to pass on his warmest good wishes to Mr. Malik for his future endeavours. And that's signed by James Dawson, Head of Royal Correspondence. So I think there's another round of applause. We now proceed to the informal procedure, and if you haven't taken photographs, there is no difficulty with our taking photographs now. My Lord, in my capacity of Shrivel Remembrancer for Oxfordshire, I confirm that the shield which Mr. Malik now presents to you conforms to the design approved by the High Sheriffs Association and is appropriate to display to his honour and renown, and that this shield is appropriate to commemorate Mr. Malik's term of office.
and relax. High Sheriff Jawaid, I am delighted to be able to present you with the badge of office of High Sheriff of Oxfordshire. Wear it with joy and pride. Hi, Sheriff. May I offer you my warmest congratulations on your assumption of this ancient and honourable office in the service of His Majesty the King. Jawaid, it's a real pleasure to welcome you as High Sheriff of our great county. There's a line from the musical Rent that has stayed with me this year. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In this role, you will discover quite quickly that it isn't measured in minutes at all, but it's in people and in moments and in impact. In the months ahead, you're going to travel across the length and breadth of this county, from Banbury to Bicester, from Oxford to Witney, from Carterton to Henley, and into villages and communities that are so often the quiet heartbeat of Oxfordshire. You will step into hundreds of rooms. You will meet thousands of people, and you will have the privilege of hearing their stories, from young people finding their voice, to those working tirelessly in our justice system, our emergency services, and our communities. You will find yourself making many speeches, attending countless gatherings, and I suspect consuming that heroic number of cups of tea and coffee. And through all of that, you will see something, I believe, rather special. The extraordinary commitment of people across this county to serve others. Jawaid, you bring to this office a deep commitment to community, inclusion, and dialogue. Through your work across Oxfordshire's faith and cultural communities, you've shown a quiet but powerful ability to bring people together and to build understanding across difference. That will matter greatly in the year ahead. This is an ancient office, but it is a living one, shaped by the person who holds it and by the needs of the county at that moment in time. You inherit a county rich in diversity and generosity, and a strong network of people and organisations who will support you fully. For me, it's been a privilege to serve this county, and I pass the office to you with great confidence. Jawaid, High Sheriff of Oxfordshire, I wish you every success and fulfilment in the year ahead.
John, it's been a privilege to know you and to work with you. You're leaving a golden legacy in the chivalry, and I'm not exaggerating. The trend that you set, the things that you've done, the innovations that you brought into the chivalry, your commitment, your hard work, I'm dreading the year ahead. It's almost impossible to follow, but I'll do my best. That's all I can say. and promise to you. So, I'm going to move on to welcoming and appointing my cadets. So could my cadets, Emily England, St. John Ambulance, Jacob Alsop, Police, Hannah Middleton, Girl Guiding, Joshua Priest, Scouts. As High Sheriff for Oxfordshire, it gives me great pride to appoint you as cadets to the Oxfordshire Chivalry. In accepting these commissions, you undertake a position of honor and responsibility. You represent the very best of your organizations, and through your service, will embody the values of commitment, integrity, and civic duty. I have every confidence that you will serve with distinction, offering a vital young voice in the life of our county and setting an example to your peers. It is my sincere hope that this appointment will be both a memorable experience and a source of inspiration in the years ahead. So I'm now going to put the armbands. I can't even bend down with my sword. Thank you. Yes, it's fine. Thank you. So, Emily, England. This way. St. John Ambulance, welcome to Shrivalti. Jacob, also Thames Valley Police, come forward. Welcome to the Shrivalti. Hannah Middleton. Girl Guiding. I think it's really sorted out. Thank you. And Joshua Priest, Scouts. Welcome to Shrivalti.
fairly low and quiet, but I have to say, what people may not realize is the Faith and Community Leaders Group went to Asylum Welcome, which is the area where they were expecting the riots, and handed out cake. And that act of generosity meant so much to so many people, and riots didn't happen. And I think it's the sort of thing that I've come to know about Jawaid and the group of the Faith and Community Leaders, and I just want to make sure that they are widely known. Jawaid, when I think of you, I think of community, peace, and humility. And when I was thinking about speaking tonight, I was thinking about the words of Abraham Lincoln, a very wise and humble former American president, who said, "I have been driven many times to my knees by the overwhelming conviction that I had nowhere else to go." And I just thought, with you coming into this role right now, that's the sort of thing we all might need to think about a little bit more. So with that, I'm very much looking forward to our next year. One of the great privileges of serving as Lord Lieutenant is working with the High Sheriff. I started with Manawa, then Mark, then Sally, then James, and now John. It has been an extraordinary experience and an extraordinary privilege. John, thank you for all of the work that you've done, the time and talent that you've given. You truly are an example of the richness of Oxfordshire. Your energy, your creativity, and your just plain productivity and ability to get things done has made a huge difference. Your focus on youth will make an enduring difference, and I think you have given so many people not only the courage to share their voices, but also the enthusiasm for what they're trying to accomplish. Thank you very much. But I have to say first, Mark, I don't think John could have done everything he did without your extraordinary support this year. So Mark, as the High Sheriff's Chamberlain, we'd like to give you a gift. And John, our gift to you is something that I think you will particularly appreciate, because the work that you've done, whether it was with the Duke of Edinburgh Awards, with Scouting, or with anything else, has been always about how do we keep it going? How does it not end here? And some of your fellow deputy lieutenants and many others have helped me write a book about some of the extraordinary projects in Oxfordshire and basically the recipe on how to replicate them. So with that, the very first copy of this book is being given to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Before we leave the stage, I'd be grateful if you could all stay in your seats for some formal photographs that have to be taken. We'll let you know when we can let you go. Under Sheriff?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to Oman room for the refreshments, which is downstairs.